Hi, I'm Sharon Winsmith, a tax attorney, active investor, and your go-to resource for proven investment and tax planning strategies. In this video, we're going to talk about how you can leave your kids over $100 million without paying a single dime of estate tax. So this is the single best estate tax planning strategy available. For the vast majority of people, this is the only strategy that you will need to use in order to make sure that your estate is not subject to tax when you die. So anyone who wants to get serious about building wealth and is concerned about leaving a legacy for the next generation, you need to watch this video and understand the ins and outs of this strategy. This also doesn't just have to apply to children. It can apply to anyone that you're interested in leaving money to or giving money. It can be friends, it can be nieces, nephews, whoever you want to potentially inherit some of your wealth at some point in time. So I'm going to walk you through the key benefits of this strategy, and I'll show you a mind-blowing example at the end that will illustrate to you how you can really do this in a way that your kids can inherit over $100 million. So what this strategy is very basic. What we're going to do is give our children the gift tax exclusion amount every year. So for 2024, the gift tax exclusion amount is $18,000. So what is that gift tax exclusion amount? The gift tax exclusion allows you to gift money to your children or to whoever you want without having to file a gift tax return, pay gift taxes, or have any impact on your estate tax exemption. So, as I mentioned before, for 2024, the gift tax exclusion is $18,000. If I write my child a check for $18,000 every year, I am not going to pay any gift tax or have any impact to my estate tax exclusion for that. However, if today I write my child a check for $100,000, I am actually going to have a portion of that. It's going to be $100,000 less the $18,000 gift tax exclusion, and that excess $82,000 is actually going to eat into my estate tax exclusion amount. So with this strategy, we just want to give what we're allowed to every year as soon as possible in the child's life. The exclusion actually applies per person and per child. So for example, I can write a gift tax exclusion amount check to my kid of $18,000, and then my wife can also write a check for $18,000. So two people can gift the $18,000 for a maximum of $36,000 per child each year. Before we dive into this much further, I do want to just go over a few key benefits of this strategy and why I think the strategy is so great. So number one, you can do this without using a CPA or attorney. You don't need an estate planner. This is just really easy. You can implement this yourself right now. It's also free to do because you don't need to work with an advisor. You don't need to pay any fees to set this up or anything like that. It is essentially free to you to use this strategy. It's also insanely simple to implement. So, as I said, when you're done with this video, you can just write those checks and get going on this right now. It doesn't require a lot of studying. It's really simple and basic. It also allows you to pass down massive amounts of wealth tax-free. Make sure you check out my example below so that you can understand just how powerful this strategy is. So let's just walk through an example to show you how I got to where I could transfer $100 million to my children without paying any estate tax. You have a married couple that has a newborn. Each parent starts to give that newborn $18,000 a year, starting with the first year of that child's life. The money will be put into a custodial account invested in an S&P 500 index fund, getting an average of 10% returns a year. The gifting will be done on January 1st each year and will be done as soon as possible in the child's year of birth. By the time the child is 13 years old, they will already have $1 million of net worth. By the time the child is 27 years old, they will already be a qualified purchaser because they will have at least $5 million of net worth. When you go forward all the way until the child is 65 years old or age of retirement, they will have a net worth of over $200 million at that point. So you can see just how powerful this example is, and that is because of the beauty of compounding. When you gift the money as soon as possible in the child's life and you let the returns compound over time, you can see how the investment gains build up over time into a number that is really kind of hard to fathom. Let's take this example one step further and assume that when the child is the age of 60, both of the parents die. One thing I want to make sure you understand with this strategy is that not only are you passing down a significant amount of money to your children tax-free, you are also removing that amount that you're passing down from your estate, as well as, and more importantly, the future appreciation on that money. So not only did you pass down to your kid successfully $36,000 every year for 60 years, you also removed the appreciation on that money outside of your estate, and you have reduced your estate by over $130 million. So that is going to be very important when it comes to estate tax planning, that not only have you shifted down that money to the next generation, you've also reduced the value of your estate significantly, so that the likelihood that you're going to have estate tax, or any estate tax you do have, should be a lot lower than it would have been otherwise. This is one of the reasons that it's really important to gift as much as you can as soon as possible in your child's life, because not only are you getting more and more money to them, you are shifting appreciation on that money outside of your estate and into their estate. So you may be asking yourself, what if I can't afford to do $18,000 per kid every year? That's okay. That's fully understandable that you wouldn't have the financial resources to do that when your children are young. Just give how much you can as soon as possible. So if you can only give a couple $1,000s when your kids are younger, just go ahead and do that. What's important is that you are gifting them that money, taking advantage of that annual exclusion, but also getting those investment returns outside your estate. So don't fret if you can't do the full amount, just do what you can when you can. So this is the best estate tax planning strategy. As I mentioned before, it's very easy to use, and most of you have probably heard of it before, but I did want to make sure that you understood the full potential of this strategy if you do it properly. And also, I hope that you understand by now that you can implement this without using anyone and without paying for anything. Set up a custodial account for your kids, find ways that you can do it without them being able to take the money earlier than you want them to, but just avoid at all extent possible using any kind of trust or anything like that you're going to have to set up and pay someone fees to manage every year. So hopefully you found this strategy helpful. If you did, please like the video and subscribe to our channel.